Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at MP materials. It is time for another update, and on this chart we are still tracking this possible 1-2 setup that has formed in this area, and then a possible large wave tree that would be developing to the upside. Now the thing is, this cannot be the third wave itself, even if we manage to reach the ideal targets for such a wave tree, even if we really surpass them. It cannot really be that this is the actual wave tree to the upside, because internally within this structure it is very likely that it is in a diagonal pattern. Now this could be, in that case, either something like a 1-2, and then this I suppose could turn into a larger 1-2, or it could really be the case that this is an ABC pattern developing to the upside, because yeah, either the wave 1 or the wave C, both of them could in the end be diagonal structures, and the only real wave, if this really could work out within a wave tree to the upside, was if we really consider this something like an ABC pattern. Yeah, it doesn't even really work out, honestly. But yeah, we would need to also be able to have an ABC structure within this wave 1 and then have an ABC structure, something like this, within the wave 3. Now, we would have already reached the ideal target for such a correction in a wave 3, and the support zones would overlap with what we will be tracking anyway, but they would be significantly deeper if we were really tracking such a scenario. Yeah, we would be looking for a support zone in the area between the $58 level all the way down to the $31.7 level. Actually, we can even allow the 61.8% retracement in this case. So yeah, it would go all the way down to the $24 level. But as you will see in a moment, this would heavily overlap with the more likely scenarios that we will be tracking internally here, where yeah, this could really be just a wave C developing to the upside. And in that case, I am considering a couple of scenarios in which this pattern could unfold higher. And firstly, we have here in the white scenario the idea that this was a 1, this was a 2, and we had a third wave that had just completed. Yeah, in the previous video we were tracking still direct continuation higher. Yeah, it was a likely outcome. And at this point we have completed most likely this fifth wave to the upside, completing the larger wave tree here in the white scenario. And in that case, I can adjust the support zone that we are tracking for a follow-up wave for, and it would be in the area between the $64.5 level all the way down to the $31.8 level, or around that area. So far, we did already reach the first level of support, and we did get a tiny initial reaction. But another scenario that I do want you to keep in mind and track is that, yeah, this could have been the wave 1 top. Yeah, it could have pushed directly all the way up here. But in that case, we would need to develop something like an ABC pattern within the third wave to the upside still, where we have only completed the wave A so far. In that case, we would have a slightly different support zone, but again, it would still heavily overlap with what we have instead in the white scenario, and in this case it is in the area between the $53 level all the way down to around the $27 level at the 78.6% retracement. Now, depending on which pattern we follow higher, we may be able to tell once this next wave to the upside is complete, because in a follow-up wave C in the yellow scenario we would be tracking a 1, 2, 3, whoops, excuse me, my scroll just messed up. So it would be a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the 5th. That would be the wave C completing a larger wave 3. We would still be looking for a follow-up wave 4 and another 5th wave to the upside. Whereas in the white interpretation, we would really only need an ABC structure to have the entire structure complete here, with a 5-wave move to the upside, possibly completing either a larger wave C or a larger wave 1. And with that said, we can now move to the shorter time frame, and we will continue to track both scenarios for now. But remember, in either case we would be expecting a somewhat probably more complex correction than what we have at this point. Now technically we did fulfill the minimum expectations in terms of the white scenario. I just don't have any confirmation yet that yeah, we may have already bottomed. And yeah, in this area, in the previous video, as I was mentioning, we were tracking a direct continuation to the upside. Now we won't spend too much time on this area since yeah, it's already past us, but if you are interested on how we could track this pattern to the upside, well, I am really considering something. I'm still looking for an ABC pattern, right? Because this was either a wave A in a diagonal structure or a wave C in a diagonal structure. And in that case, I would need an ABC to develop. And since we had here the B wave bottom, we don't really have a 5-wave structure to the upside in that case. So instead, we really need to consider that this wave B has most likely unfolded as a triangle instead, where this would be an A, B, C, D, E within a wave B triangle, and then we had here a 5-wave structure within the third wave to the upside, something like a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the 5th. Yeah, pretty simple, doesn't matter the exact structure, the exact levels. The idea is we have completed here the 5th wave to the upside, and we no longer need this interpretation in orange that we were tracking. Now, internally within this structure to the downside, we do start to see divergences. Yeah, we may even be able to consider something like a 1, 2, 3, 4th, and the 5th, possibly complete. Now, even in that case, within this wave 5 to the downside, I would like to see a more clear ABC structure unfold. But keep in mind, the structure could unfold in many different ways, especially on such fragile timeframes, which could morph at any point. Now, a more general area of resistance I would be looking out for, even at this time, would be in the levels between the $74.8 level all the way up to the $90.6 level at a 78.6% retracement. Now, it doesn't matter within which scenario we would really be, white or yellow. This does apply for both of them. And if we are looking here for a more short-term continuation to the downside, I would be watching out for a possible ABC pattern in this area. Yeah, this could be something like an ABC to the downside, and then I might even be able, as I mentioned, to consider a full 5-wave structure complete. And yeah, I wouldn't necessarily be looking for a bottom at all in that case. I would be especially watching out for such a resistance area for something like a larger ABC pattern to unfold. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.